You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your host, Linda L.D. Dorsey, along with my partner in crime, Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's up, girl?
Hey. What's going on?
How you
Talk
doing?
To me. Talk to me.
How you doing? How's your weekend?
Man, my nephew went out there and whooped some ass. It was the bomb.
Yeah.
Went to work talking cash to everybody that had already been running their mouth about Mr. Hill leaving. I went in there and I'm telling you, I was walking like, you feel me?
Yeah,
I hit him. I hit him with it. I hit him with him. Nobody walked over in that section.
Well, I was excited too because my people, we came on. What?
Hey, I was with you.
I can say this is the first time in years I can say the Giants are undefeated, but we were wearing them out. But we're going to get to all of that. We're going to bring Darren in on the second half of the show after we come back from break, and we're going to talk some NFL. But I have got to talk the WNBA.
What? Get it.
So
let's go.
The Aces are leading. Like I said, the Aces are leading 2-0 over the Suns. And I'm going to tell you, the first game the Aces won, it was a close game. Right, 67-64. Asia Wilson, 24 points, 11 rebounds. Chelsea Gray, 21 points. Plum had 6. Young had 11. Sun played a good game. But DeWanna Bonner had 3 points. Let's talk about that.
What's to talk about? I'm not being tacky. It's 3 points.
That's 3 points.
That's either three free throws, one shot in the free throw, or a 3-pointer.
Right.
I think we wrapped it up.
We wrapped it up. We summed it up. We're going to come back to that because we're going to talk about game 2 because I'm getting back to that. So last night, good game, right? Aces win 85-71. They played a better game on the boards. Becky Hammond talked about that in all of her press conferences. The ladies talked about that. And they were saying the first quarter is the quarter. You got to win the first quarter. They don't want to be playing from behind.
Yeah, I love Becky.
Asia Wilson, 26 points, 10 rebounds. We know why she's the MVP. Chelsea Gray, 20 points, 8 assists. Kelsey Plum stepped up, 21, 7 assists. Jackie Young didn't score as much, but she was in Bonner's grill, and Bonner was held to 2 points.
Count them.
So what does that add up to, Tanisha? Do the math on that. That's what?
It's a whole lot.
That's one free throw? I mean,
no. It's a whole. Let me finish. It's a whole lot of defense. And it's either 2 free throws or 1 shot. We ain't even giving. That's it. There's no other way to get them.
I can't. I'm going back to, and I'm reminded of because I watched the all of the games actually with Chicago, and Bonner hitting threes and turning around, spreading her arms, looking at the Chicago bench, all
shaking
that other stuff. Yeah, you ain't talking trash, screaming, and all that other stuff. You got to win the next 3 games.
You hear me?
To beat the Aces. You got to win 3 in a row. She real quiet. Yeah, you smiling, but Jackie Young, and she got her lip busted. It would look bad, bleeding all over the place. But Jackie Young was in that grill, and the Aces, their focus. Like, I like the comment that Becky Hammond made when they won to get to the finals. She said, I wish they hadn't put down all them balloons and streamers and all that other stuff, confetti, because she said we ain't won.
It's too early. Yet. It's too early for that.
Too early.
But I'm gonna tell you, I like just, I would like to just show. When I was playing, I wanted to just put everything out on the field. I didn't need to talk. You don't need to talk because right now, when you do all that talking, you know what I'm saying? You can hear rat pissing on cotton right now. I know she upset. I know she's like, I was out there, I was out there flexing, and now they out there clowning. You understand what I'm saying? That's unnecessary. You didn't have to bring that to yourself. You out there, you done balled out, you having a good game. Let that go. Just let your work speak for itself. I always say that. I try to tell my nephew, he got a little excited, he started counting numbers. We'll get to that later. But the reality is I just like to see a person go out there without the extras.
No, when it's all over and the confetti is falling and you got that championship, just like with Candace Parker going back and forth with Kurt Miller from the Connecticut coach. He talking about we beat her 3 out of 4 years, but she got a banner. You ain't got no banner. She said we don't have conference banners. You ain't got no banner.
Zero.
So My keys to victory for the Aces is stay on the boards, play great defense, and the shots are gonna fall because you got people. Chelsea Gray is shooting contested shots. They ain't wide
What?
open.
Dude, I don't even know what to say. You know, we done talked about it.
Yeah,
We done give her props.
she's the
We
truth.
give her
And
props.
yep. And so when they interviewed, and I thought it was cute and it was funny, when they interviewed Kelsey Plum at the end of the game, she said, "What happened? What changed?" And she said, "Asia cursed me out before the game." When they got in the press conference, they asked Asia, "What did she say?" She told Kelsey Plum, "Get your shit together."
What?
Meaning, and it wasn't a put down. We know what you can do. And that's what she
Right?
said. We know what you can do. Go out there and do it. And she did it last night. She had the assist. She had the point. She was driving everything. I don't see any way that the Suns, I think the Suns can get a game. I'm not going to say it's going to be a sweep. I think they can get a game. They're going back home. They may be motivated, but the nerves are there too. So they may get a game, but they're not. I do not see the Suns winning 3 games
Well,
in a row.
let me just say this. That's small talk among real athletes. Get your shit together. Okay.
That's it.
That's what you say. Hey
Right.
man, let's go. Let's roll. Let's go. Why
Yep.
you know, don't worry about that. Let's roll. That's small talk. Don't get caught up in the semantics, folks. It's no issue in the locker room. That's just somebody telling them, hey, you need to step this shit up. We trying to win.
And she
Period.
said that last night. She likes that. She said people praying over, they doing this, they cussing out, whatever it needs, because she knows she got it in there, and they know that she got it in, and they said that they need her.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
The Sun have got to get more points in the paint, and that's the thing that the defense really shut them down on that. So I don't know how they gonna do it and stop Wilson or Gray. That ain't gonna happen. So they may get off. Bonner needs to come off 5 points in 2 games. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. So, like I said, I don't know if they can sweep Connecticut, but I have the Aces winning that with the coaches and the players. So
yes, ma'am.
Look forward to tomorrow night's game.
Absolutely.
And be flipping because we got some other stuff going on. I do want to give a shout out to one of my favorites and a couple of other. So newly inducted Basketball Hall of Famers, Swin Cash, Lindsey Whalen, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Hardaway. Now, go ahead.
I know how you feel about Swin. Go ahead and go. I know you feel.
I follow Swin from UConn all the way up to what she's doing now in the Pelicans front office. So, great person. I had the opportunity to meet her years ago, but great ball player. Lindsey Whalen, all of them. Of course, they're not going in the Hall of Fame just by chance. And I'm only mentioning the players that went into Hall of Fame. There were others that went in that induction ceremony over the weekend. So congratulations to all of them, well deserved.
Absolutely. I know that's a proud moment. I don't care what anybody say. When you play, you playing, your heart out, and that ultimate, sort of reward is that everybody is unanimous about the fact that what you did, and that's the Hall of Fame, baby.
Yeah.
And all day long.
The last thing, final thoughts on the U.S. Open, the winners, Iga Swiatek and men Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, his match again, Iga she dominated. She played very well. I mean, her last match against Ons Jabeur was a good match. They forced it, but she beat her in straight sets. She earned it. That's hers. Carlos and that match that he had against Tiafoe, I wish that was the finals match because that went 2-5, and that was a great match. But this kid played. He won in 4, and he's now the number 1. And hats off to both of them because I think the U.S. Open overall was a great tournament. It was exciting for everybody. But Tiafoe being the homeboy, a lot of people were pulling for him, and he felt that energy in New York.
Absolutely. And you know what? And sometimes sometimes when you don't win and you that runner up, that's that boost. You're like, hey, I'm here. I deserve to be on this stage. Who knows what we're gonna get from him? Who knows what we're gonna get from him in the future? Because I still remember, and I'm gonna tell a quick story. I still remember the first time that Monica Seles played Steffi Graf. And Steffi Graf, she was young, young Monica Seles. And you know how I feel about Monica Seles. I love me some Monica Seles. We're gonna do a whole show on that one day about just how great a player she was and what she could have been had she not had that small stabbing. But I'm gonna tell you, you know what? Let's roll back because that's how much I love Monica. I'm not about to do it. What you say? Stop yourself. I'm gonna stop myself. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
go. 'Cause this is a whole man. That's a
I
whole
know
nother
we'll
topic.
do a whole nother conversation just on tennis greats or whatever. We're gonna have a
What?
segment on that. We'll cover that and we'll
Yes,
go back
Lord.
to the beginnings of all of it.
I only
But
want to share.
we're gonna talk about some NFL, but we're gonna bring a man in, Darren, and we're gonna talk about this past weekend. So let's take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. We got our boy Darren with us, our producer, our I call him our expert. So we're gonna talk some football. I was all over the place this weekend. I think we had a blast.
First of all, Darren, we might, if you weren't out there really doing something important, we might invite you to our little party. You hear what I'm saying? But you out there, bringing in the Chiefs. You out there on up here with your suits on, looking casket sharp. If you weren't doing, dude, if you weren't doing all that, we would bring you in on that fun that we have every Sunday. I'm talking about nothing but fun.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. First of all, I appreciate the compliment. I always love being on the show with you all. I have to admit, it looks like the majority rules. Patrick won the dress off on Sunday, but as everybody says, it was because he had a vest on. So
yeah, that vest gave him the edge.
And here's the thing. They just didn't have my vest ready for me in time when I was which
okay.
We
got some more games.
Well, and like I said, because I told my suit guy 2 years ago, I said I just want to go with 3-piece suits, the rest of the time, and so they just his orders just didn't come in. But I will say this: Patrick did get credit where credit's due. At post game in the locker room, he was like, he said, "Man, you sharp." He said, "I told him." He said it was the vest. I said, "I know," but.
Okay.
But I say that. Hold on. But I say this because I got my suits over there on the.
All right, we're gonna talk about your suits later.
I'm just saying because
I'm
just putting it out there.
Hold
on. I'm just putting it out there. I got some for him in Indianapolis.
Okay.
What? All right. I believe it, Darren. Darren, if you were DraftKings, I'd pick you every week. You feel me? Your suit game is tight. I know you have. I know it. Let's go.
Let's jump right in there. We're gonna talk about. Thoughts, unexpected, expected, disappointed, injuries. So, what was unexpected this week?
That Aaron Rodgers ass whooping.
Yeah, I would agree. I would also say the sluggishness of that Cowboys Bucks game because it really wasn't a good game. So, I mean,
I agree.
I could see that. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there wasn't really.
You said wasn't really nothing. You even said it wasn't really nothing else.
No. Well, no. What I was going to say was what I was going to say is that what's most surprising for me was the first half of the noon games because a lot of games looked like they were going to be blowouts, and then what happened? It turned around and went down to the wire.
To the wire.
New Orleans came back from behind. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati going to overtime. Detroit coming from behind, even though they lost by 3. Washington and Jacksonville going out, and then of course Carolina and Cleveland, and then of course Indy and Houston, and then in the tie. And of course your Giants. Congrats to you on that.
Yeah, I was going to say that should have been the first thing y'all was talking about, the New York Giants. I don't understand why we wasn't talking about the New York.
You know what? If it was a podium, you'd be third. Right on. Y'all would be all up on there with that bronze. I would give you that. Nobody saw that coming.
Right. Nobody saw it coming, but nobody saw that coming. What? Say quads.
What?
Say quad with them quads.
But guess, but
164 yards.
But I'm gonna give a shout out. But guess who? One other shout out. Even though they had a tight game and I thought it was gonna be a blowout, I gotta give a shout out to my boy James Bradbury with his pick 6.
He could have had more than one.
Yeah, I hate that the Giants let him go. He in Philly now, but I got special love for James Bradbury. So actually I keep showing this hat. That's where the hat came from. So absolutely, yeah, I like that. But yeah, Daniel Jones did Daniel Jones, and Tanisha. We had the conversation while the game was going on, and Tanisha was like, "Damn, can't you just be happy y'all won the
No,
game?" I mean,
nope.
we critiqued every part of the game. Then it was like, even when they said they going for two, I was like, "Why are we going for two? Just kick the field goal, send it." I like what the coach did. I like what he did. I'm happy for the win. But the Steelers Bengals game,
What?
good.
Yeah, that was
That
unexpected. Yeah, because I didn't generally teams have what you would call a Super Bowl hangover, especially if you're the losing team. I didn't see like 5, 7 sacks and those type of turnovers coming in that game from Joe Burrow. But the fact that they were able to bring it all the way back and get it in overtime, I was shocked about that.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. That whole time, listen to me. That end of the game was the end of the game because T.J. Watt, was hurt. Okay, he ripped his well, he didn't tear it.
He didn't
He
tear it. He thought he
strained
tore it.
his he
Yeah.
strained his pec, slapping folks. You know what I mean? That's what T.J. do. He strained it, slapping people. You remember, you saw it. You read his lips. For a minute there, I thought you was part deaf. I was like, Linda came in. He said he tore it. He said he tore his. I read his lips, and I
He
was like, you're
did. He
right,
said, I
Linda.
tore it. I tore it. And he said, I
Yeah,
tore my pec. So I thought he had torn his pec. I was happy to hear that
that
he
he didn't.
didn't, but we'll talk about that when we get down to the injury. But he was
What?
balling.
Man, TJ is that dude. I'm just gonna keep. I couldn't get him on my. I play a fantasy league that's extended. Got all. Man, I could. I picked him so quick. You thought he was a quarterback, and I was trying to
You
get
be
to him
doing
because
a
I
whole
was like,
lot.
hey, you know what? Hey, I'm blessed like that.
I know.
I can multitask. I
So,
was built that way.
Hold on, but not only TJ Watt, but also Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett, and of
yes.
course, I mean, because I think we already talked about Vaughn, but Miles Garrett balled out in that game against Baker Mayfield, which of course, like I was happy because they beat down on Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield did Baker Mayfield things. So
Mm-mm. I don't like
I
that at
like
all.
Baker Mayfield. That was a game that I was torn because I also like Jacoby Brissett.
You got to make me go menace to
So
society up in here. I don't like that at all. Mm-mm. No,
it
ma'am.
is what
No,
it is.
sir. No,
It is
sir.
what it
I
is.
don't like that. I
What
like
you gonna do
Baker.
about it?
I think they did dirt. I think they did Baker dirty. But you right. That doggone wingspan that Garrett got, yeah. Poor Baker. He could have done worse than that. I think he actually held up on him. I don't think he hit him like he could have hit him because he
Well,
was like, Baker, you don't deserve it. But
but
still,
yeah, but here's the other thing though, because I'm like, look, I like Jacoby, and I'm happy for him because he's under a lot of pressure, obviously trying to fill in for 10, 11 games, and then when you have, because trust me, I watch a lot of Cleveland shows every day, but we have a lot of people who talk about how bad you are, how much you suck, but people didn't want to give him credit because he executed that 2 minute, the last 2 minutes of the game to perfection and got them to put them in the lead
so
and
let
get
me
so
ask
that
you a
was a game winning
question
drive.
on that.
Yes.
This is posed to both of y'all. So
hmm
Deshaun comes back week what?
Week 12, basically.
Okay,
Week 12,
so
week 13. Yeah.
say they sitting at a 9-3 or 8-4 record. What do you do?
What do you
pull
mean? What do you do?
Jacoby.
You pull Jacoby.
No
Pull
question.
Jacoby.
Yeah, no questions at all.
Okay.
Do a
That's not
bear crap in
that's
the woods.
Okay.
You
yeah,
pull
Okay.
him.
that's not
You
even
Okay.
a
pull
thought
him.
process. I mean, look, he knows what he signed up for. Look, they know
I know
it's
he
not good.
does. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if you got that vibe in you on there with the team and it's
Mm-mm.
going and you're winning 9-3 record, do you really pull him with a nine
Yeah.
and three
Yeah,
You
record?
know
because
why?
yeah,
Okay.
You know why? Because by that time Deshaun is old. He's back to old Deshaun. He just waiting. He over there itching.
Okay.
well,
Like he
and
wait.
and
He waiting to get on the field. He
and
just
the
needs to get back in rhythm. And by that time, he is in rhythm.
Okay.
yeah,
I'm with you.
and the other thing is that he can come back into the facilities next month, and he can start working. He can start practicing with the team. I think first, second week of November, because I think his first game back is like December 3rd against the Texans or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
so, so,
Ooh,
so,
Lord,
so,
that's
so he's
something.
got. So he's gonna be working with the first team, or switching in and out with Jacoby, working with
I'm
the
just
first
worried
team.
about rust. I'm just worried about rust. So
Nah,
if he comes out and he
he's
say he has
he'll
a
be fine.
horrible game, what do you do?
He'll be fine.
We'll
I
talk
don't.
about it. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll see what
yeah.
happens. What happens?
I don't. Yeah.
We'll re
But I will
we'll
say
revisit that.
but I will say what was expected, at least in my opinion, was seeing what Tanisha's nephew did in Sunday's game. I had no doubt because I've been talking about on my I know we've been talking about on our respective platforms that to me this was more of an addition by subtraction with the loss of Tyreek Hill. But I always thought that with Patrick having so many offensive skill players, that it would be hard for a defense to really attack Kansas City, because
Oh yeah.
I'm watching it from the press box with my binoculars and I'm seeing them blitz, but everything still felt like it was moving in slow motion for Patrick, to where he was just getting the ball out to
Oh
players.
yeah, it
And
was so clear.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
he could
mean,
see the field. He was finding people left and right because he hit. They said as many incompletions he had, that's how many receivers he hit. 9
yeah,
different
not,
receivers.
yep.
Well, listen, I ain't one to gossip, but I talked to my brother, and towards that end, he was locked in tight. You feel me? Like he knew he had something to go out there and prove. And I truly believe that there's probably, much better to come. I mean, uh, and not to say that the Cardinals weren't playing hard. They have an amazing, defense and stuff, but it's just that sometimes, when things switch up on you, you don't know what's going on. Everybody's coming down on you. You done tried to give everything you have. Sometimes you got something to prove, so just put a chip on the shoulder. And I feel like that I like to say I like Petty Mahomes better than I like regular little Pat. You know what I mean? I call him Petty Mahomes when he get like that, when he start counting on his fingers and stuff. I
So
like
what do
Petty
you?
Well,
Mahomes.
they had asked
What?
me. I'm sorry. They had asked me. If I thought that Patrick was going to play with a chip on the shoulder. I'm like, you got to. I mean, you got to stop thinking about it, because I asked him at the presser last week, but before the first game, about about motivation, because it's like you've been damn near disrespected all off season. I mean, they got you ranked number 8 when you was number 1 last year. Now you done fell off to number 8 after you threw for 4,800 yards and 37 touchdowns. And the crazy thing is, like, everybody's saying Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are the top quarterbacks, whatever, and they're going to lead their team. But neither one.
Disrespectful.
That's a lot of that is clickbait too. So
Yeah,
people
well,
get caught up in it, and
but
it depends on how
again,
he looks at it and uses it to motivate him.
okay,
But
but
still
again,
disrespectful.
yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, you're saying that these players who you've beaten when it matters most are supposed to somehow supplant you. I mean, if you listen with a third ear, what I've been hearing a lot lately is a lot of these commentators that are trying to usher in or usher back that white QB type thing, because because
Yeah, we know that. That's
yeah,
been
what I'm
going
saying,
on even last year when he had a
no,
great season. They were
yeah, but
trying to do
no,
it.
no, but I'm saying all off season, you heard the disrespect to Kyler Murray. Not that it wasn't warranted, but you heard the disrespect to Lamar Jackson
Yeah,
and Patrick, and of course, we've seen what happened with Deshaun Watson. So I'm saying
But you know,
all that has been
but
going on for.
he
but
addressed
let me
that because they were talking about the IQs of the players. But I even listened to a press conference with the coach from the Chargers. I mean, he gave him nothing but praise,
He didn't have
and
a
well,
so
choice.
I'm gonna go a step further. Sean Payton just did. He was on Colin Coherd this week, and he talked about the process that he went through when he said he basically they went down to Texas Tech, saw little Pat, worked him out. They sent him a book. They sent him like a few plays. He went in there, he nailed it, and they said, nobody knows that we're here. We got to get out of here quick, get to somewhere else because he's our next quarterback. And then he talked about the fact that when the board came on, it was Marshawn Lattimore and him, and he was like, "We're going to get one or the other either way, but we're not. They're not. They weren't going to jump." And he said he saw that when the Bills made the trade, and he said, "We just lost our quarterback," and it was Lattimore. So I said it to say, Pat is Pat's durable. He understands what he's working. He said that he actually said in the press conference, "I'm just a dude from Texas Tech that nobody thought should be in the NFL."
right. And I agree
think I
with what
asked him
all
that
y'all
question
saying, but I
for that
don't want this to
response.
turn into this ain't the Patrick Mahomes
No,
and there's no
absolutely. Let's
respect.
get it.
This ain't the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. There's a whole bunch of other teams that play, so
Oh,
we're
it
gonna get to
is.
it.
It
Yeah, talk about
is.
them
So love
Giants.
him and all other stuff. No, I ain't gonna talk about the Giants.
Let's
What I
talk
want to
about
talk
Kirk
about.
Cousin.
No. Let me talk about the Chargers and let's talk about the Chargers and the Raiders
Okay,
because
let's get it.
that we're staying in that same division.
That's
What did you
go
see
for it.
there? Yeah,
Khalil
what did
Mack,
you see there?
Khalil Mack, Khalil Mack, coming back to that defensive player of the year form that he did when he was
Think
in
about that.
Oakland, that we missed in Chicago the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The man, look,
Mm-hmm.
and I said in the offseason the Chiefs should have made that trade to get Khalil Mack, because you just had to be in a
I
good
agree.
situation, and Chicago Bears just wasn't a good place. Now
Good
he
fit
didn't
for
have
him.
to
No,
go there. Yeah, he
no,
didn't
he
have to
didn't
go there,
ask.
but he did his first year improve that defense, because they did win the division title and had a nice little playoff run. But no, I think we'll talk about it, but I think Khalil Mack is going to be a hell of a difference maker and help, because between he and Joey Bosa, they had 4.5 sacks together. So
yeah,
Man.
and I mean,
that right there is
to
It's
me,
no
and
way to turn.
Tanisha likes Derek Carr. I don't personally dislike Derek
I
Carr. I
do.
have no reason to.
I
I
love
just,
Devontae Adams.
I love Devontae Adams, but I've
Oh,
never seen. I just ain't seen it from Derek Carr string it all together consistently. So that's kind of what I'm looking for if the Raiders are going to do anything. And if we want to stay in that division, which we can, the Broncos fiasco the other night, and the coach finally come back saying, you paid Russell Wilson $200 and something million to come, and you don't let that man try to, you got 3 timeouts, all that time left, and you don't let that man try to get a
his former playing place. I mean,
fourth and 5, and you don't let you take a 64, and he comes back and he says, oh yeah, I might have, that might not have been the right move. It wasn't the right move. So we'll see. He's a new coach. We'll see. He's learning or whatever. But I was also watching Peyton and Eli on the side, and Peyton's like this.
Yeah,
I'm out.
A minute 4 seconds left, which
and you
we're probably all like,
stand there and you let the clock run, and you're standing there
all the way
next to the official down, and you let it run down to whatever second, and then after that, here's the bizarre shit that got me. Game over. And you're gonna burn the rest of your timeout.
Exactly.
You take a knee, you timeout, dude.
It's too
the game
I'm just gonna throw
over.
it out there. Unnecessary roughness, Linda. Yeah. You had to
Tom
go in
Carroll
on him though.
He said
you had to go in on him.
Pete Carroll said on this, he said he ended the game 3 times. It was like, dude,
how do you have
were you just thinking I can't put these timeouts in my pocket, so I ain't gonna take them home? But I'm watching the game and I'm scratching my head. I need to call somebody to say why. And he's like adamant about calling those timeouts.
Hey, you know what, Linda? I'm gonna tell you something. Nathaniel Hackett is the son of Paul Hackett, who's a former Kansas City offensive coordinator, and I think head coach as well. So he don't fall from the top of.
It goes back to there's some other coaches, black, white, purple, green, that probably should have that head coaching job, because he was clearly not prepared for that game. But I could beat that to death. So let's talk about our disappointments. It started for me on Thursday night. Not saying that the Bills should have lost that game or the Rams should have won it. The Rams looked like
horrible.
They look horrible to me.
Yeah,
like they look like it was the first preseason game, and you're coming off of, like you say, that Super Bowl hangover or whatever. But you're in your house and you representing, and they were getting turnovers. The offense had nothing.
Dude, it was a small mugging going on. It was so hard to watch. I mean, that the one they really got me was the no-look interception. I damn near turned the TV off.
I'm gonna say this, and I think you all may agree, because I think we've had this conversation before, but this really shows why I'm always harping about players playing in the preseason, because a lot of these teams,
that's exactly what happened.
You look, I mean, there were a lot of mistakes, there were a lot of miscues, and Sean McVay said after the game that he didn't want to credit it, but a lot of people pointed that out, and a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of teams that did not play their starters in the preseason, those were the teams that lost a lot of those games over the weekend.
But let me say something else, just so people don't think that I'm all on Stafford. Stafford was my fantasy quarterback. He got me a whole 9 points.
Yeah, he looked terrible. But some of it was hit on him, and some of Higbee, I think he hit Higbee in the hands twice. At least twice.
I know one thing. I love me some Cooper Kupp. You cannot take
you
better not say about.
They wouldn't have had what they had without him, but they should have. The turnovers that they forced, they should have had more points. It was just hard to watch, and it was almost sometimes when they showed Sean McVay on the sideline, how he always has, but you looked in his eyes, he was like kind of like, what the hell is happening? I don't even know what to call. So he just looked kind of crazy.
They better go dip Cooper and go, because I'm telling you, he the best thing on there.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, what?
And they got to get another receiver, because I think, and I don't know if it's going to be. We'll see what happens with.
And they got a little spot in there in the locker room with Odell name on it and everything. But you mess around.
Man, the problem is, I mean, he just won't be ready till like maybe November.
But
the problem
when did he get there last year? When did he get there last year?
No. I get that, but
no. It's a question. No, that's not a question. I don't know.
No, I mean, no. He got there. I think around November when they traded for him. But what I'm saying is, he was healthy when they traded for him. So that's
but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. they got the sign up, but they haven't signed him. So you mess
I don't think he
around
would
and
pass
Odell.
waivers.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
because-
Oh, you mess around and you wait too long, and Odell mess around and get healthy.
But
He
when
don't
he
have
passed,
Yeah,
would
but
he don't
pass
have any
waivers at this
reason to
time?
go back to them.
no, but
Would he-
here's the thing, they
So
don't. They're not going to sign him when he's not healthy. I mean, you're not going to pay somebody millions of dollars just
You
for
ain't
them
got
to
to pay him
rehab.
millions of dollars. At this
You
point,
ain't gonna
Odell
pay
just
him
need a
nothing.
team.
You ain't gonna pay him nothing. Don't you have to pass a physical in order to make a team? Can he pass a physical at this point?
They can
No,
sign him and put him on IR.
he still has to pass
You
the
gonna-
physical though.
But
Right.
but
You have to pass a physical to sign with a team. So you're not gonna pass to me, that does not make economic sense. I'm not signing anyone and putting them on. I'm not gonna pay you X amount of dollars.
It's
just to
a
be
whole
on
lot of
IR.
teams looking to sign Odell, and they're thinking
But if
Hold on,
that
what
was
they
the
have.
case,
No,
all
no,
the
listen,
players-
reason
no,
why
no,
none
no,
of
no,
them
no, no,
signed
no,
him.
no. Listen, Odell is in the back of a lot of people's mind. Hell, as soon as the Packers just got mugged, it was trending for them to get Odell. But here's the deal: you're looking at week 7. You're looking at week 8, maybe. And so that's why they were talking. They were, matter of fact, Shannon and Skip was talking about it today, saying, "Well, if you get Odell, well, you're thinking 7, 8
He
week
got to be
7,
healthy.
week 8."
Tanisha. He got to be healthy in order to play. And then here's the other thing: we can talk all that crap about who wants Odell. Where does Odell want to play? And you saw him out on the field at the beginning of that game. He still considers himself, I believe, a Ram, and that's where he wants to be in California. So that plays a whole lot into
I'm gonna rewind that because I'm gonna tell you right now that I could have sworn I saw Odell put himself in a Bills jersey.
No, that's probably somebody else put him in the
Probably
Bills
Von
jersey.
Miller.
and yeah, and tweeting at Von Miller to come get me. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Odell
We'll
doesn't
see.
need somebody to pay him right now. He ain't making no money. That's the big
Yeah,
difference.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
He
think
want to go
Odell is hurting
anywhere.
for money either, because hell, the Giants paid him for 25 years.
That's
so
true
hell,
story.
he ain't hurting for no damn
True
money.
story.
He might still be paying him. So
True story.
Whatever. Let's go ahead. We talked about the Cowboys, Bucks already. We talked about Seattle and Denver, all that stuff. Disappointing. Whatever. But let's talk about injuries.
What? It's a lot of them. We can start with one I think is the worst injury up here, which is Dak. My team, Cowboys.
That's why
we have no chance without Dak because we don't take the time to get a backup quarterback. Hell, we don't even have anybody to go 500. If he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. If he's out 4 to 5 games. It's over. We don't have anybody. There's not a Cowboy fan out there that's got hope. Not one.
Okay.
Not one. Except for Cooper's family.
Let me ask you this question, because I was trying to understand it more, and then so people that are listening understand it more. So if he's out, what do you say, 6 to 8 weeks?
He says 6 to 8 weeks.
Why won't they put him on injured reserve?
Because Jerry Jones believes he'll be back before then.
Okay, so they don't want to just in case.
And Linda, let me say this to Tanisha, with all due respect, you wasn't going nowhere with Dak at the moment. Not the way they looked. Not the way they were looking on
I
Sunday.
beg your pardon.
Not the way they was looking on Sunday. You wasn't going
I beg your pardon. Do not disrespect Dak.
I am.
It's no respect to me. It's no
disrespect
disrespect to Dak, but you give away Amari Cooper. You do other things, and they just didn't look.
The receivers couldn't catch the balls.
Yeah, they didn't look like a Cowboys team.
I own it. They didn't look right before Dak got hurt. They didn't look right before Dak hurt. But my point is that just like Dak, it got a new receiving core. I mean, Gallup is over there broke down. They didn't let Wilson go to Miami. They gave Amari Cooper away for a cold cut and some chips. I mean, it's a lot on Dak. So he needs to get used to these.
But Tanisha, guess what? See, when you try to compare it to your nephew, guess what your nephew did that Dak didn't do?
I'm not comparing Dak. I'm really not comparing Dak to my nephew.
No, I know, but
I'll take my nephew 10 out of 10 times.
But you use a scenario. What I'm saying is that Patrick, with his receivers, played in the preseason. Dak and his weapons didn't.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't deny that.
Let's move on from Dak. So Keenan Allen got a hammy. That's gonna benefit. That's gonna
The
hurt
Chiefs.
them. That's gonna benefit the Chiefs. But we'll go back to the Chiefs game because that's our marquee matchup that we're gonna be talking about. T.J. Watt, that pec. Thank goodness it was not torn. Mid-season, he'll be back. I think Pittsburgh's
Yeah,
gonna definitely miss him.
Because they were initially thinking if he got surgery, he was going to be out for the year. So he went,
Yeah.
got second and third options. And I think they said maybe 4 weeks, if even that many.
Yeah, so that's good. Mid-season for him. Godwin, battle back, but they don't expect him to be out long. They don't think that's a serious injury. But you start. I've known players. I fortunately did not suffer any kind of these injuries. The overcompensation. I mean, we saw it with. Let's go to basketball. Clay, right? Clay working out. Then all of a sudden you tear an Achilles from a knee. So I don't know if it's overcompensation or whatever. But and all of the players that we talking about, we want them back. We want them healthy. I ain't wishing nothing bad on nobody. I don't care what conference you're in or not. Elijah Mitchell, he's
running back.
He's
was
gone
doing
for
good.
the season, correct?
He's
going on IR.
I think he tore his MCL.
Yes, MCL.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not. It's gonna be rough coming back from that.
It's gonna be a little tricky. We can go back and we'll cover this again when we get to the marquee game. Harrison Buckner.
I think he just has a twisted ankle.
He's out.
No, he's out.
He's out. They have ruled him out for tomorrow.
No. I'm saying, but it's a bad. But I'm saying I don't expect it. Yeah, I don't expect him to be out 4 or 5 games. He planned it wrong on the kickoff, and I mean it rolled all the way over. And anybody that's ever played basketball, anybody ever played a sport, when that rolled, it hit that court or hit that grass, you done overdone it.
They called up the guy from the practice squad, right? He's going to be kicking, so they have a real kicker. But I really liked, and I watched a couple of things. I really liked the way Reed stepped in. He was ready to do it. He was like, I'm kicking. Him and Towson were on the side working on their little handshake. So I thought that was pretty cool. Patrick hurt his wrist, but he stated that, it was sore that night. It's getting better every day. It's his non-throwing hand. So we know he's going to be out there.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they've disclosed it with Jamal Adams. All I saw, I don't know if you saw more, was stated that it was a serious knee injury. Because I did see him coming off the field, and he was trying to put pressure on that knee, trying to put it, and he couldn't. And so they helped him. They finally carted him off. But they just keep stating serious knee injury.
Yeah, and I love me some Jamal. I love me some Jamal, man. I love him. I love him when he's
I wish he could get out of Seattle. I wish he could get out
there. He went there with the expectations of that team being something, and then it just totally.
When he went there, everybody thought that it was changing. It was changing something, but
they need to change their damn head coach.
That's what really needs to
change.
And
the fact that he was in a press conference making fun about another coach, you can't. He lost that card in the Super Bowl.
He sure did when he called that raggedy play.
When he called that play, he can't never talk about another coach. I don't care if he got 6 Super Bowls. If you had 6, you should have had 7. So he cost them a Super Bowl on that. I'm never going to say anything different. So
you don't have to, and Tom Brady would agree.
Let me just ask this one question before we jump to this game. Out of all the injury, who impacts their team the most?
Dak.
Well, Dak. I mean, I'll give Dak just because he's a quarterback, and that team may not have gone far the way they looked Sunday night, but they're definitely not going far with Cooper Rush.
And we're not gonna go through all of them.
Let me ask you a question though. Do y'all think that maybe, just maybe, Dallas gets desperate enough that maybe they may go and see if they can get a Garoppolo?
Nope.
No.
Too much money, huh?
I don't think San Francisco gonna get him up. Did you see Trey Lance play? I'm not giving up Garoppolo. I know it was rainy and it was ugly outside. But
you spent 3 first rounds. You spent 3 first rounds with him. It's gonna be a hard sell to the owner to tell him that he's not the guy.
Who? Trey Lance?
He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not gonna tank your whole season on that.
He's not gonna do it.
I'm just saying.
I don't think they're gonna give him up, but he's got to perform. He was not seeing the field, so I know it was a horrible weather. The field conditions were terrible. So yes, you got that first game. Let's get another game. Let's see what you can do. Now this dude did play, and we made that comment earlier about preseason. He played all preseason, but it's different when you playing the starters.
You sure is. What I tell you about what I said when it was talking about the Mitch Trubisky, I said you comparing a guy that's playing the third string.
Right.
I mean, it's not fair.
Now
And when
that
you play that
Pittsburgh,
first string, it's a real deal. It's a real deal out there. It's you playing for real, for real. These guys is actually on the team, not ones that went home sad.
yeah, the second most impacted team I believe I'm looking at, because I believe Keenan Allen, they'll recover from that. But the second one, I'm looking at TJ Watt. That defense,
Oh Lord, yes.
is like the nucleus of that team, and he is the nucleus of that defense. So
And nobody will disagree.
somebody's gonna have to step up on that
Yep.
team. All right, we're gonna talk
Nobody.
about our Mark. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tanisha.
I said nobody's stepping up like TJ Watt. So
No, that
let's
dude
be
is
clear.
He's driven. He's driven. Let's talk about our marquee matchup. We got the Chiefs versus the Chargers. Big game Thursday night on Prime. So I believe it's just on Prime. Is that the case?
It is
That's
on
what I
Amazon.
heard.
Well, it is on Amazon Prime. It will be on the local channels in Kansas City and Los Angeles.
Okay.
So,
So
like, it'll
for
be on
me,
your.
I'm in Maryland. I'm getting it on Prime, and that's it. So you
Yep.
screwed if you ain't got Prime. NFL, what were you thinking about?
Money.
You ain't thinking about your fans.
They think about money because
Yeah,
if
because
the
that's
fans want
dumb.
it, they'll
Like
they'll,
if
they'll, they'll, they'll
fans,
subscribe.
that's the Thursday night game. That's the only game they got on Thursday night. And if you ain't got Amazon Prime, you can't watch the game.
Do you
Well, who
got a
you
Fire
think?
Stick,
Number,
Linda?
You
You got
know,
a
you.
I
Fire Stick?
have Amazon Prime. I'm
Oh,
But
saying for the people that don't, everybody in the world now that has Amazon Prime is sharing their credentials with somebody else just to get the game.
yeah.
So
And
you
that's
ain't
what the NFL was
Amazon,
thinking.
but you ain't making money with that. Because
No,
if
no,
I
hold
can
on.
share
The
my
NFL, they
credentials with
already got the
Cyrus,
money.
NFL, they got their money
They got
already
the
with
money.
the
know.
That's
contract.
Amazon. Look, that's
Amazon,
Amazon.
Okay.
Everyone got to figure that out.
Amazon wants the traffic. Now go get Amazon. That's what
Okay.
these
All
we
right.
talked about this when we went to class, Linda. You
Okay.
know those deals that are made, they're not made to make money. Those deals are to bring in new.
I get it. It just annoys
Let's
me
go.
because I'm like, the average person that got whatever. Let me get off my soapbox on that. We're gonna move on to the game. Because I'm still annoyed. Every time I see it pop up. Oh, Amazon Prime. I'm
Stop
like,
it,
oh
Linda.
yeah.
Stop it.
I'm gonna let it shoot.
Get
Yeah,
off my
okay. So
lawn.
let's talk about the matchup.
Go for
Who
it.
y'all got? I know I ain't gotta ask, but I'm gonna go ahead, Tanisha. Ooh, you made a
I'm-
face. What you got, Tanisha?
I
What you gonna say?
cover Pacific teams, so I'm not. I can't.
Well,
tell
I
you.
jump in. Forget it. I got my nephew in the Chiefs. I'll just say it. I mean, he got a lot to prove. It looks like he's gelling. Andy is creating plays, out scheming. I mean, not. I like Cliff, but he was out of his league. It looked obvious to me. On Sunday, and I expect Andy to get better, not worse. To start seeing what his new talent can do, scheming up more plays that we haven't seen, tweaking the ones that we have, and especially with Keenan Allen having the hamstring injury, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Stephen Wonder can see that.
I'm going with the Chiefs. I mean, I just watched both games and I just think the Chiefs are gelling also. They're pumped up, they're looking good. Folks are healthy. I mean, we're missing our kicker, but or the kicker, I should say.
Oh no,
So
you can
we'll
say
see what
our.
happens. That's my backup team.
All
That's my
right,
backup team. So
don't be ashamed.
not ashamed. I mean, y'all family. So that's
That's
definitely.
right.
I ain't never rooting against them. But what you got there, Darren?
Well, obviously I covered the team, so I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Look, I'm gonna be honest. This is an important game for Kansas City. I mentioned it to
Hell yeah, it
talk
is.
to Patrick about it after the game. Point out the fact that the Chargers have beaten the Chiefs the last 2 years at Arrowhead. So even though Pat didn't play in the first game that Herbert started because they had already had the division, everything sewn up, they still came in last year, week number 3, the second home game, and beat
Beat 'em.
Kansas City. They came. I don't know. I can't remember if they came back from behind or something like. They might have come back from behind.
They went
Uh,
for it.
yeah, and they beat Kansas City. So, and they split, but you don't want your home opener to be as such and a debut on Amazon Prime and you lose. And of course, this is a division
A
matchup.
division matchup. It's important.
Yeah, and so obviously now the good thing is that granted they had a division matchup against Las Vegas on Sunday, so little pound and
They're
stuff.
already up.
Yeah, so it's a little pound in there. But now if the Chiefs can come out and what you want to do if you're Kansas City, you want to come out, get the win, be up at least half a game against them, and but be up 2 games 2-0 while they're 1-1, and then you worry about you know until you get to your next division four, which is the Las Vegas Raiders in week number 5. So I like Kansas City. I think the key to this matchup for Kansas City to win is, as we talked about earlier, those tackles against those ends. If you keep Patrick upright, so this is a contract game for Orlando Brown. You're going to be going up against Joey Bosa. You're going to be going up against Khalil Mack. You can make your statement about your contract situation in this game right here. You keep Patrick upright. Don't let him get hit. And Patrick can do the kind of same thing that he did against Arizona.
Okay,
absolutely.
Give me your outside of that one. Give me your game that you're looking forward to on Sunday.
You want me to start or you?
Yeah, whoever. Give me your matchup for Sunday.
And Tanisha, I'll let you go right quick because I'm so focused on the Thursday game. I'll do it. Tampa Bay and New Orleans. I mean that's a division matchup. Obviously, and obviously we saw what Brady did. Offense wasn't really clicking, but you could blame some of that on Micah Parsons. The Saints coming back from behind in their game to win this past Sunday.
And they weren't clicking, but they got together. Michael Thomas really showed who Michael Thomas is. Yeah. So I'm going with the Saints in that one. To me, that's my Sunday game. Because it is a division game, and I'm going with them, and I still want to see some more Chris Olave.
And it's funny you said it because to me, the best games are actually going to be Monday night between Tennessee and Buffalo and Philadelphia and Minnesota. Those are going to be those are going to be good matchups in my opinion.
So I mean, I said Sunday. You went to Monday.
No, now, I just threw that out.
Let me get to Monday. Who you got in the Monday games?
You said it. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, we didn't even get Tanisha's Sunday game. So
that's what I'm going to say. I'm thinking Packers Bears because Aaron Rodgers always tell him he own them. But being that I don't know,
that's a good point.
He always tell him he own them. So my whole thing is that Packers Bears game. I mean, we're talking about Aaron. He threw one ball. Curtis Watson dropped it, and Aaron went over there and started pouting. I mean, literally, that changed the whole dynamic of the game. So I'm curious if it don't work out.
I don't think he threw the ball to him until late.
He didn't throw it to him to the fourth because that's petty. He's petty.
Yeah, I don't like what is he, Tanisha?
He's petty. But let me tell you though, and I rarely, I love Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. I don't like him, outside, but I like him as quarterback. But I will say this: I believe it was Curtis Watson when Aaron got up there and he talked about his receivers not catching the ball and dropping passes, and Curtis was like, "I'm good. I believe in my hands." And then you gonna drop that bomb. Okay, you better believe something else because Aaron don't play them games.
Yeah,
you'll mess around and be sitting on the bench. You'll be fourth string. Okay. Yeah. So let's keep it real. I think Aaron kind of had a point there because you got these cocky receivers and can't catch. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
All right,
I want to see what Aaron gonna do.
Give me your Monday night Titans Bills. Who you got?
Me?
Yeah,
Bills.
Okay.
Bills. Yeah, that's it.
Darren?
I'm gonna go with Bills, but remember the last time these two teams played, it went down to the wire. I think that game might have been in Tennessee though, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo in this one only because they're at home.
Last time they played, they had AJ Brown. They don't have him anymore.
Yeah,
he's no longer with us.
I'm going with I'm going with. I got to see Derrick Henry bust out, and the Giants held him. I mean, Saquon doubled his production on Sunday.
Shout out to Saquon too. I mean, to be honest,
hell yeah.
After 2 years of injuries, I
mean, I was just about to say Saquon did his thing, man.
Shout out to Saquon.
I can't stand you, Linda.
But guess what?
I don't like to say it myself. I like to hear y'all say it.
But Saquon was my fantasy running back. The Diva won.
All right, Mr. Potato Head. All right. Yeah, but seriously.
Yeah, he balled out. He balled out.
He's one of those type of players that because of what he's gone through the last years, he needed a game like that, if for no other reason for his confidence. So
for his confidence.
I'm really happy for him. So I just want to make that little point.
I love it.
He was my fantasy running back, and I won all my leagues thanks to Saquon. So shout out to Saquon, baby.
Well, thanks to your nephew, I did a little shout too. So yeah.
So give me your winner in the Vikings and the Eagles.
Ooh, Wait about this. I don't know because Philly was looking good. They put up 38.
They gave up too many.
That was in the ballgame. I'll give you that. At home though with that crowd, I'm gonna go with Philly.
Okay, well it's clear you've been just only covering the Chiefs because Vikings winning.
I like the Vikings, but I'm going with Philly.
Jefferson is cut.
Jefferson is a dog.
He is cut. Nobody's covering him.
But
okay. It's gonna be like taking candy from a baby. Then you got Phelan over there. Come on, man. You got Cook running the ball.
Hold on, Linda. Did she not just say that Tennessee didn't have AJ Brown? Well, Philadelphia has AJ Brown, so who's going to defend him? And they got Devontae Smith. So come on now. Stop it.
What did Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith had 4 fantasy points.
Yeah, but you know what?
He won 4. He had 4 fantasy points last week.
Jalen Hurts wasn't. He wasn't Jalen Hurts last week. I think it's going to be a whole different game. They was putting points up. Well, but I'm gonna tell you what. You got some points from the defense. The defense did a lot for you. I think that team's going to gel a little bit more. And I do have. And I called it on another show. I might have called it on the show. I got Minnesota winning their division. I don't have them winning this game.
I thought it was me. We so in sync. I thought it was me. I was telling everybody at work I'm the one that called it, but it might have been you.
No,
but
I think it might have been both of us. We could have actually agreed on something, but I don't agree on this. I'm going with Philly, and I got to go with my boy. You know, I know it's in the conference, but I mean in the division, but I'm going with Philly.
Can we make a small wager?
$5.
It don't have to be that. You know, I like that bubbly. Okay, well, just give me a nice bottle of wine, and we'll call it even. And that's for both of y'all.
I got a bottle of wine here that I have from Italy that's been sitting in here. I got a couple of bottles.
Well, it'll be sitting with me at the end of this week. It'll be sitting with me.
We'll see, but I'm excited for it. Good conversation. We're gonna get in here and we're gonna go ahead and Darren, thank you so much. Always providing your insight. Tanisha, I'm going to go to you and your closing thoughts. You talk about anything, but your closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts is that Minnesota is about to surprise a lot of people. I watched them play. They're solid all the way around. They got what it takes. And I have always been a fan of Kirk Cousins because I was up there in Maryland for so long and Kirk was doing what he needed to do and they were disrespecting the hell out of him. And this is Kirk's opportunity to get in there and show everybody that he knows what he's doing and he's got what it takes to win that division. So my take on it is that Minnesota is about to prove a whole lot of people wrong.
Okay. All right. And what's your little quote? Give it to me.
Well, my quote is always, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it, baby.
Okay. All right. For me, my closing thoughts are about the WNBA. I love the way this season has gone. I like the way that the fans have come out. They've had, sold out crowds in Vegas. The other athletes that are coming, not just NBA players, but athletes, stars, and people that are coming out to support this, the exposures that it's getting. So my hope is that this continues to grow. I think it will. I think Vegas is a great spot because that's like a vacation spot for people to go hang out and they're watching these games. So it's good. Ja Morant was in there last night talking to his girl Asia, but I love that. So let's keep that energy going for the WNBA.
Absolutely.
Let it grow. Let's do some expansions and let it grow. And as always, I always say shout out to the blue team, vote people, we got critical things going on. It's a lot going on. I'm not going to make this a political show, but, vote your conscience, vote your mind, vote your heart. And until next time, be kind and be blessed.
That's right.
You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network.